Hey everyone, Puzzle here, and in yesterday's video I mentioned an interesting Easter egg that might hint at the next Bloober Team game in the Silent Hill universe. I know it might seem too early to speculate since the remake of Silent Hill 2 Realm was just released. Obviously the success of the remake could give developers a chance to work on another game, and many are wondering what's next. Could it be the first game, the third, or even the fourth? Today, we'll explore the most realistic options. However, I believe we'll first get a DLC that expands Maria's story. I think so because of a suspicious building I noticed in the game. When you approach it, you'll trigger a unique Easter egg. Maria hesitates to cross the threshold as if she's scared or uncertain. Inside, there's a table you can interact with. But what's even more intriguing is that once you leave the house, you can ask Maria about her odd behavior, and here's what she says.
Is everything all right?
Yeah, it's just... this place just gives me the creeps. I'm not sure why.
You ever been inside?
I'm not sure. It does feel familiar somehow. Like a bad memory. It's nothing, really.
As I mentioned in the previous video, Maria had her own storyline that surprisingly wasn't included in the Silent Hill 2's remake. This extra content, called Born from a Wish, was initially released as part of the Xbox port and PS2 Greatest Platinum Hits edition of the original game. What's fascinating is that the same building from Maria's campaign appears in the remake. This makes it likely that Bloober Team's next project will revolve around Born from a Wish, especially since many assets are already in place. The Born from a Wish scenario serves as an introduction to Maria in the Silent Hill universe, even though it was created after Silent Hill 2. In this prequel, Maria is portrayed as more vulnerable and uncertain, lacking memories of who she is or how she ended up in Silent Hill. This ambiguity adds depth to her character. It's also suggested that Silent Hill is her hometown, implying she either lived there before or was manifested by the minds of James or Mary. Maria begins the story waking up alone in the Heavens nightclub. After reflecting on what to do next, she decides to search for other people in the city. Armed with a revolver and knife, she roams the monster-infested streets of Southvale until she stumbles upon the Baldwin mansion. Inside she meets Ernest Baldwin, though she never actually sees him, he only speaks through closed doors. With a strange, monotone voice, Ernest asks Maria to retrieve a white liquid from the Blue Creek apartments to help bring back his deceased daughter Amy. Although Maria doubts it will work, she agrees.
Can you open the door?
No.
But why?
Is it really necessary for me to answer all your tedious questions?
Yes.
After Maria brings the white liquid, Ernest tells her more about herself and mentions James Sunderland. He warns Maria that James is a bad person searching for her who is not her, causing Maria to recall her vague but positive memories of James. When she finally opens the door to find Ernest, the room is empty, suggesting he was a ghost. Disheartened, Maria leaves the mansion and briefly considers ending her life, putting the revolver to her head. However, she ultimately throws the gun away. It's unclear why. Perhaps she doesn't trust herself with it, or maybe she wants to depend on James. Either way, she resolves to head to Rosewater Park, hoping James will accept her. A logical DLC option. A Born from a Wish DLC seems like the easiest step for developers after the remake's release, given that many of the assets and locations are already prepared. We've seen similar successful DLCs, such as Ada Wong's campaign for Resident Evil 4 Remake. However, not everyone is waiting for DLC, many are hoping for more remakes, and I have some thoughts on that too. If you finished Silent Hill 2-6 and want to explore all the secret endings, I highly recommend checking out one of my videos where I break them down in detail. What's next, Silent Hill 3 or Silent Hill 1? I believe Bloober Team will remake Silent Hill 3 next. While some think they should start with the first game, I see things differently. Silent Hill 2 has at least 3 or 4 Easter eggs referencing the third game. These include nods to the amusement park, a rabbit sticker on a mirror at the bar, Douglas's Hat, the motel, and Room 106, where key events from Silent Hill 3 Towers take place.
Cozy.
This room. There's something wrong with it. I think we should leave.
Oh, loosen up, James. It sure beats running around with those monsters out there.
I'm not so sure.
If you visit that room at night, you can even spot a pentagram from the third game. Plus, during the hospital and prison levels, you can hear the name Heather mentioned. Heather is the protagonist of Silent Hill 3 app. The bonus costumes in the extended version of Silent Hill 2 Remake also hint at the third game. Among them, we see Pyramid Head, the dog from the secret ending, and oddly enough, the rabbit costume from Silent Hill 3. Creating Silent Hill 3 would also be practical. Developers could reuse some of the content from Silent Hill 2 Remake, like the motel and the Heaven's Night bar, saving time and budget. Why not Silent Hill, the original? Silent Hill is quite old, and by today's standards, its story feels somewhat outdated. If developers wanted to remake it, they probably would have started with it. Instead, they skipped it and went straight to the second game. We've seen a similar trend with Resident Evil, where developers also skipped remaking the first game. Additionally, the surreal and mysterious elements of Silent Hill 3 align more with Silent Hill 2. The mention of Walter Sullivan in the remake could also hint at the direction of future projects, possibly leading to a remake of the fourth game after the third. Of course, these are just my speculations, and I could be wrong, but this progression makes a lot of sense to me. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Lastly, as further evidence supporting my theory, there's even a trophy in the game related to finding bread, which is another subtle reference to Silent Hill 3. It might seem minor, but there are just too many hints pointing toward the third game, don't you think? That's all for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear.
Sins will be judged and punishment exacted. We pray for your forgiveness. You who lead us to eternity.
They have come to witness the beginning, the rebirth of paradise, despoiled by mankind.
What are you talking about?
Don't you know? Your power is needed. Remember me, and your true self as well. Also, that which you must become. The one who will lead us to paradise with blood-stained hands.
When am I going to wake up?
I still feel like I'm dreaming.
More like a nightmare, I'd say.